A warm welcome to the Alm Cocoa Talk, where we discuss futures market, supply demand, chocolate, cocoa, industry insights, and of course sustainability. And today we have a very fine guest who has been in industry for almost 40 years. Hello, my name is Gerald and I'm the CEO of Alm, and today I have Marc Donaldson with me, who has been almost 40 years in the industry. Right, Marc?
Correct, Gerald. I started in 1983 in the industry.
Wow, that's quite a long time. It's a pleasure for us to have you here. Thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yes, of course. So what's your story?
I started in 1983, as I said, and I've been lucky enough to work in some very large cocoa and chocolate companies, ending up in Singapore 23 years ago to run the first Barry Callebaut factory in Asia Pacific.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and in that factory you have been producing chocolate, I guess, right?
Yes, we only produce chocolate. It was later on that we started making cocoa ingredients here. But I've been involved in cocoa ingredients as well. I ran a large factory in Hamburg for Petra Foods, 100,000 tons.
Okay, wow, that's quite a lot. And actually, originally you are from England, correct?
Yes, but half French and half English.
Okay, nice. Didn't know. All right, but not only basically on the finished product side you have been in the industry, but you also have been in the upstream part as well, i.e. you have been dealing with farmers as well. You have been in the countries of origins, correct?
Correct. I was head of cocoa sustainability for Petra Foods. We were grinding 400,000 tons of beans then. We had factories in South America and Europe and obviously Asia. So I was traveling to all those origins to deal with farmers in those locations.
Okay. Any nice anecdote to share with us when you met the farmers?
I think during the PAX program, which was a collaboration between S1E4, Blommer and Petra Foods, I was lucky enough to be anointed village chief for a day.
Village chief for a day, okay.
Indeed, a very big ceremony involving many dancers, theatre acts, pouring of whiskey on the ground to make sure the spirits gave us a good cocoa crop the next year. And finally I went away with the prize of a goat.
The prize of a goat, wow, cool. You still got that goat, or is it here in Singapore?
No. The goat spent all of the night keeping us awake with a lot of noise. So in the morning we took it down to the local school and we gave it away to the school.
You gave it away, all right, okay, wow, that's quite funny. Okay, I guess it was a kind of interesting experience. So basically the people, the farmers from that village were embracing you when you came there, or, I mean, what was your take on that? I mean, why did they do that?
I think I've been involved in cocoa sustainability programs in all the continents of the world. And obviously farmers are different in different places, very different. Yeah? I mean, South American farmers are a little more middle class, if that's the right way to put it. And in Africa, they're really poor. I think that the strength of a collaboration with three companies really focusing on working with each other and trying to get a result, that was appreciated by this village in a big way.
Okay, so I understand. All right. So since you mentioned results, and this was a sustainability program. So what kind of results did you see? Did you show? What was basically the benefit then for the farmers then?
The benefit for the farmers was we increased their income by 60%.
All right. How did you do that?
Well, we got them to go into a wet bean program, which means that we were buying the wet beans from them, and we had 17 fermentation centers, 23 agronomists. So they only had to focus on growing the beans and harvesting the pods. We were doing the post-harvest. And they got a lot more money for doing that because we were much more efficient than they were. And it allowed them to, you suddenly saw people with motorcycles, the next time you went back a few months later, which they didn't have before. They had more income to look after their kids, to send them to school, and we really made a community out of the project there.
That's really nice. So basically what you've done, you have really created a value add, right? So the farmers have been there, they had their cocoa pods, they gave you then the wet beans of it, they brought it to 16 centers. And by the way, where was that? That was Ivory Coast? Or?
All over Ivory Coast.
That's right. Okay, 16 centers, and in those centers you have done them basically the fermentation and the drying, and then you made them, you commoditized them ultimately.
We turned out much higher quality cocoa.
Okay.
Much higher quality cocoa.
Yeah, and because of the higher quality, the farmers made more money out of it ultimately.
They made more money because we were much more efficient in our fermentation. Mm-hmm. Farmers don't get a very high level of yield if they do the fermentation themselves. Mm-hmm. You can get a much higher yield in a fermentation center, and this is a well-known fact. Mm-hmm. The problem is getting the beans to the fermentation centers. That's the challenge.
But still, and then okay, you got the better quality, and you passed on basically the profit, so to say, or the value add, which in dollars, so to say, you pass it on to the farmers, and then the year after, you have even seeing that okay, their wealth increased by a number of motorcycles on the roads, basically.
Absolutely, and it was a win-win situation in the sense that we split the profit with the cooperative. We didn't take any profit for ourselves, and I think that's the way it's meant to be. We're meant to get more money from selling a better quality of bean, and then meant to get more money from the efficiency of the operation that we had around them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, sustainability, that's anyway now a kind of a buzzword which has been now, I think, around in the industry for many, many years, right? Now, given your background starting in 1982, so what's your take on that? How did that evolve over the years?
Well, I didn't really get involved in, I don't think the industry did until 2002, 2003, mm-hmm. With a focus on abusive labor and products coming into the States. It then evolved through all the certifying organizations. And today you've got a situation where nearly every major company has its own program, which has got tenure. It means it's going to last for quite a long time. Mm-hmm. And the rules of engagement are now being set by the UN ESG program, mm-hmm. which means that people all have a common set of goals to try and achieve. And I think that will enhance collaboration, because for me anyway, if sustainability is competitive, then it's not really sustainability, because if something is competitive, you have a winner and a loser. Mm-hmm. And all these farmers, they're the same set of farmers for everybody, really. And I think the ESG goals will encourage people like the finance industry to invest in more cocoa-related products.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this ESG angle and this ESG touch in particular from the financial industry, right? For me, it feels like that makes a kind of a difference, right? So if really, I'm always saying, if the money wants to make it happen, then I believe it's somehow happening, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's the, I don't want to say the rod for the cocoa industry back, but they need the finance industry to function. Yeah. And if the finance industry says, we need to see you do this in order for us to loan you money, then obviously it's a big motivator for the industry to move forward.
Yeah. So actually it's a big leverage, right? Yeah. So that said, so sustainability is not just a buzzword, but it's reality. It's helping. Is that what you can say?
Absolutely. And I think today you have to walk the talk. You have to have that sustainability program. But you've got to demonstrate that it's real and it's happening and it has results. Mm. And I think the spotlight is much more on the holistic idea of sustainability now, including the people, the farmers, the whole social aspect, than it ever has been. And that's increasing as months go by. Mm.
So it's not only about greenwashing, as they used to say it, but in particular in our industry, in the cocoa industry, you really can make a difference. You can make an impact, as you basically demonstrated with your project that you have done, but you can make a difference and you can prove that you make a difference, right?
I think you can. Obviously, you're always going to have cynics. In this situation, there's always going to be two sides to every story. But I think the credibility of the industry is much better than it has been in the past. Yes, there are still going to be questions and it takes a long time. Sustainability is never going to go away. We're never going to solve this problem entirely. But as long as we keep on making steps in the right direction, then it can happen and things can get a lot more positive.
So sustainability is more like a continuous way to do business. It's not a one-off. It's never going to stop. We always need to work on it.
It's never going to stop. And as I said, we need to keep the spotlight on sustainability and make sure that everybody understands that it's not a short-term work. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to keep the spotlight on sustainability. I think that's pretty nice tagline to finish and wrap up this talk here. I hope to see you soon again, and let's have more talks about sustainability. I think it's getting more and more important for our industry. And for now, thank you so much for coming. It was a real pleasure for me, and I hope to see you soon again.
Thank you very much, Gerald. It's been very enjoyable.
Thank you. All right, that's it for today. Again, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, and I hope to see you soon again in the next episode of the Alm Cocoa Talk. Bye.